Bill, it's Ray from Dyer. Apologies for the delay, but I'm taking a video of the C8. Again, this caffeine color is cool. In the shade, it looks really dark, but in the sun, as you guys saw, it dances around. It's got a bunch of metallic in it. It's just a really cool combo. You had some questions or wanted to see a little bit more in detail, so I figured I'd help out and kind of go over it a bit. There's the Q8Q wheels, the black ones. On the inside, it's got the black interior, so it's black leather. You've got the engine window. That's like a barrier. It's like a second firewall. In fact, here, let's open the, push the button there. You pop the hood or trunk, I guess. I don't know. But there we go. Plenty of storage space in there. It's very deep. My arm almost past my elbow goes in there. There's the motor. Super cool setup. It's got a little engine cover, but you can still see a fair amount in there. You can see the big strut braces for the rear. There's your rear suspension. Being a 23, all of them have on the back glass. Actually, one more thing, it's got a soft closing trunk, so you'll push it down and then it pulls. But the 70th anniversary, all 23s, they've got special markings on the glass, which is pretty neat. Here's the rear. There's your camera. Everything in there. So you got the backup camera and the tag lights and all that. Obviously the signature Corvette quad exhaust tips. One thing that I think is kind of neat, actually, if I shut it, the turn signals are sequentials. So if you unlock it, look at the way the light flashes in to out, which is kind of cool. We'll fire it up so you can kind of hear it. This is going to be a cold start. So obviously 2 keys, 2 remotes. In order to fire it up, all you do is you hit that center button twice. 1, 2. That's what she sounds like. Quiets down quickly. It's not very obnoxious. It's got a little rumble to it, but it's fairly docile. On the passenger side, forgive me again, it wasn't out of detail, it was out of PDI, so it still has some of the raw covering and whatnot on it that we saw. Here's your build sheet, which is pretty cool. I'll make sure they get this laminated as well for you. But there's the whole, that's what they call the broadcast sheet. That's what goes with the car as it goes through the assembly line, and they know what parts and what components, so they know like it's not magnetic ride. They know what color, whether it has the engine light kit, knows what color the trim is, so it's carbon flash, and that's this trim, the black. Have a quick little seat in here. When you climb in, oh, one more thing too. I already talked to you about the door latch. It's electronic. There's a button in there, and then the button there to get out. And then if for whatever reason the battery is dead, that's your release. You can still open the door. You're not stranded. When you climb in, turn the vehicle on. Whoop, I hit the wipers on accident. Turn the radio down. When you're sitting in it, and again, I'm a bigger guy, but when I'm sitting in here, it's fairly comfortable, and everything's pretty easy to reach. I mean, you've got your hand on the armrest. This divider, it's no taller than my knee, so it's not a big, pillar or anything like that. But you've got your climate control. This is for the passenger. This one's for the driver. You've got the sync button that'll make them both match. Auto climate. And then all the other AC controls are here, so it's pretty easy to get to. It's pretty easy to reach. I find when I'm sitting in the passenger seat of one of these, my hand wants to rest kind of on this half of the armrest and kind of like cup the wall divider, if you will. But it doesn't seem to get in the way. It doesn't seem to be a big hurdle. And then of course you do have your OnStar folding mirrors, of course, lighted. These pop out and they do extend to cover more of the side window area. And the roof does come off as well. It is a target top. There's one latch here at the rear, and then these latches, you just pull them until they click. So you put that down, pull it until it clicks, and then the roof lifts off. And then to put it on, obviously you just latch it, and it's a really positive sound. It's something you're very aware of. The infotainment is fairly straightforward. It's still in demo mode. I'll let you take it out of it, but you've got your, again, forgive me, there's the angle there is not so good because of the protective cover. The light is dancing all over it, but it's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, OnStar, XM, etc. So you can use all that fun stuff in the car. On the driver's side, of course, you got the square steering wheel. The flat top helps with outward visibility. It's very good. As kind of I was mentioning to you, they're sort of easier to park because the overhang is a lot less than it was on this C5, 6, and 7, where they had that traditional long hood and short sloped deck lid sort of shape. And it's currently showing 2 miles on the odometer because it goes through the plant, and then obviously it's been, you know, through inspection, and then it's been around the lot here. I pulled it out of detail. I got to fill it with fuel, that kind of thing. But brand new car, beautiful. You've got 2 cup holders in there. Your traction off button is up here. This is your controller. This helps you flip through some of the drive modes on the cluster. Again, it's not fully on because I didn't put my foot on the brake to start the vehicle. This is just the remote start mode, which it will run for, I believe it's 15 minutes. You've also got a button here, and you've got an armrest with some more storage capability. And then in the back here, forgive me, my hand, that's the center speaker, and all the 2023s have 70th anniversary logos there. And then you've got a little phone storage pocket, which you can slide your phone in and sit there as well. So pretty decent space. You've also got the glove box, the latches here in the middle, and then obviously books, manuals, etc. are inside. But again, I love these cars. It's a goal of mine to have one. I'd love to. I love all the little details. Like, for example, I love that the Corvette flag is, embossed into this nice piece of leather that's on this little mode switch, and you find yourself, kind of resting your hand on it to flip through the options. It's very intuitive. It's very driver focused. But as a passenger, I still have access to use all my controls that I need, and I can still reach the screen pretty well. I mean, I'm not very tall. I'd say I'm about 5'6", 5'7" on a good day. But you can see, I have to do a little bit of a stretch to get to the home button, but I can still, cycle through the radio. I can cycle to the Bluetooth. I can get to the OnStar crash response. I can do everything from the passenger seat that the driver can do. So it's not going to be a big reach, but you're also not on top of each other. I mean, my arm is quite wide, and I'm on this armrest, and there's a fair amount of space. I mean, it's compact, but it's not cramped, if that makes any sense. In addition to that rear storage, as I mentioned, I'm going to go back to the driver's side here. Actually, no, I have the keys. In addition to that rear storage, and you can pop the hood trunk by just pushing that twice. 1, 2, that comes up. Once you open the trunk, the remote start turns off. But you can open that from there, and then you've also got front storage. You push it twice. Am I doing it wrong? There we go. Push it twice, and you've got some front storage. More room in here. One thing that's nice, there's your cigarette lighter. That's where the factory battery tender accessory would plug in. So if this car does end up sitting for a while, you can do that. And then you've got easy access to change. You got access to look at the brake fluid, look at the washer fluid. They gave you a little warning that just says, hey, be careful, make sure the latch clicks twice. So when you close it, there's the first click, but it's still open, and then the second click, and now it's actually closed. We'll go back to the engine bay side. In here, it's lighted, which is nice, and then you've got hooks for a cargo net, accessories, and things like that. And again, same thing, pretty straightforward on this end, engine-wise. For a mid-engine car, everything is very accessible. There's your coolant reservoir right there, easy to get at, and then your oil fill is over here, also pretty easy to get at. So all your necessary fluids that you're going to have to check, you know, over time as the car ages, and actually obviously as it goes out of warranty, etc., it's pretty serviceable. Really not a lot more to talk about. I love this engine window. I think it's cool. It's a great design element. These scoops are functional. They do help remove heat from the cabin, and then obviously that double pane glass there to isolate some of the noise and heat and sound. And you can see everything is wrapped in, you know, heat conductive material to keep it all out of the cabin, so it's not going to be, you know, a terrible place to be. One more thing, the roof, when it stores in here, and you can see how the little feet kind of fit in there, and then everything there. Again, just a really cool car. I think these are amazing. Again, be very careful with that latch, and it pulls itself down. You've got your Stingray badge, the Corvette across the rear. I just think they're really cool. I'm gonna shut up for a minute and then just take a lap around it so you can kind of see it again in a couple different angles, and let me know what you think. Okay, I gotta talk for a minute. Look at the way the sun is hitting that hood. That is awesome. I hope my phone does this video justice. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, you can call me anytime at 772-794-8902. And I truly do mean that even after the sale. If you have questions on how to set something up, I'll help you pair your phone. I'll help you do whatever you need to the car. I hope you enjoy it. Again, my name is Ray, Dyer Chevy Vero Beach, 772-794-8902. Thank you guys, and enjoy.